Matthew Morris, MM with Steel. Today is Sunday, January 15th, which means it's time for another weekly shop update. Woo! First off, I want to apologize for missing last week. I had the flu and a horrible fever. For 3 days in a row, I had a fever running between 103 and 104, usually somewhere around 103.2, 103.6, in that range there. And all I was doing was laying in bed and trying to get well. So missed out on that. My bad. Sorry guys, but there was no getting in here into the shop to film it. I just wasn't up to it. So let's get into what I have been doing in the shop now that I'm back from Florida. I actually went to Florida again. Craziness. To shoot some stuff for YouTube for work. But let's get into this. So I've got 4 screwdrivers here. I only got 1 left to do. And the last time I talked about making these screwdrivers was when I told you how I created the blanks for the screwdriver handle bodies. So what I want to do now is talk to you guys about how I actually create the handles for the screwdriver. So let's get to it. The first thing you want to do is to chuck up your handle into the lathe. Now you'll notice here that I'm using these easy wood turning tools, and I think they're fantastic. So I bought a square-edged one as well as the rounded one, and these are the mini versions of the tools, not the full-length ones. I don't do a lot of turning. I thought these would be perfect to start for myself. And what's great about these guys is the lack of having to sharpen. I have turning tools. I do know how to sharpen them, but I'm not the best, and I've seen so many people do amazing jobs with these, and I thought, hey, let's give it a shot for this project. So the first thing you're going to see me do here is turning the tenon for the brass part that's going to go on here. So the larger handled screwdrivers versus the smaller handled screwdrivers, there's a major difference, and that is the overall width or thickness of the handle, and that also changes down at the brass ferrule as well. So both of these are fittings that you would use on pipes. They're brass fittings, and what you do is you turn the tenon just a few thousandths of an inch thicker on either side, so maybe a total of 4 to 5 thousandths of an inch thicker than the inside dimensions of the brass fitting you're going to put on. And with that tenon turn, then you can actually take a wrench and screw on the brass piece here. And what that's going to do is get that ferrule on. It's going to make for a really solid connection because you are actually going to cut the threads. At the same time, the brass is really nice and thick, so it's going to help prevent that tenon from breaking when you apply pressure down when you insert the actual shaft itself. So with that brass piece fitted, then I go back to the lathe, chuck everything up, and start to do my turning. And that's when I start to use this round guy here. This guy's great. You put it in with a little bit of force at the right angle, and you can create this indent for the fingers where they go when you're actually holding it. And then start shaping the front part of the handle as well. And this makes really quick work of it. And you can get just a nice amount of pressure that you can almost get a finished surface right off of this guy. Now for the brass itself, we need to turn that round. And to do that, the first thing I started off using was this scraper. It's from Sorby. I have other Sorby turning tools that I've always used in the past, and you may have seen those in other projects like the Nakashima dining table. But I would use this to come on in and start to scrape away the most outer edges of those brass fittings. And as I get closer and closer, then I can move on to the actual square easy wood turn tool with the carbide tip, and that will take care of the brass as well. The brass is soft enough for this tool. And then after all of that, then some files to flatten everything out. And then when you're done with that, you head towards the back of the handle and get that nice and curved over. So come in with a tool, and either the square edge tool like I'm using here, a Badan, whatever it may be, and push down to kind of turn a thinner piece towards the back. And then I use this. I hold this piece, this square tool and then I hold it down on the rest, and I pivot to create that turn that I want, that round over in the back. And with that done, you can take this guy and just do a little bit of sanding, and then head over to the table saw and cut off the end. From there, I've already marked out center on this. I can make some measurements for the wider one. For the thinner one, I'm going to drill 1/8 inch holes almost right up against the wall, and then drill a larger hole for the shaft itself. And then from there, I can put the shaft right in. Now the big thing here is to make sure you're drilling nice and straight. So spend time on the setup. And that is right where I am right now. Now the next steps on this is to actually glue the shafts in to the body. Now I've drilled my holes just a little bit thicker in the actual center part to allow for a little bit of movement to perfectly position this visually when I actually epoxy it in. But that's pretty much it for right now. I've got 4 of these guys done. I've got one more blank with one more shaft to go to turn and create a handle for. And these 5 will be ready for glue up and then finally finishing. So I'm really stoked about this project. It's a lot of fun using these. As I think I said 2 updates ago, I just started screwing and unscrewing things in the shop randomly just to start to use the screwdrivers, and they feel great. I love how the Cocobolo is turning out. I think it looks fantastic in all of these, and I just couldn't be happier. So that's pretty much it for this week. My question of the week to you guys is this: if you're out and you're down and you're sick, what do you do to fill in your time to get hit that craving, that urge to get some woodworking into your life? Let me know. I'm curious. For me, let you guys know, I watched some videos, some stuff on Fine Woodworking magazine's website, etc., to get that woodworking or to fulfill that woodworking desire to. Listen, I can't come to the shop to at least get some stuff woodworking in my life that week. So that's pretty much it for this week. As always, please subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and hit that thumbs up button if you like this channel. If you're watching this on Facebook, hit the like button, share your timeline, and head over to the MM Wood Studio page and like us there as well. And as always, everybody, have a great week at the shop.